scenes and sources.
Scenes and sources. Okay.
Right, the scenes.
Yeah, it's about a 3 or 4-year-old laptop, and over time it got slow.
Here's what started this big mess. Windows 365.
Yeah, sir, I tried, but it's not working. Same, sir. I have put your mail across stating that.
Quite annoying. And most any time that I try to use my computer, I'm plagued with pop-ups.
Is that the only way that you can run the new Office? Is web-based
No.
programs?
Is somebody starting to snore?
You're boring, Doug. Sorry.
Good morning. It's 9:01 a.m. and let's see. We got where is it? Yeah, Brian Lightfoot. Yesterday I saw an ad for a radio for sale, but for only $1. But it said the volume was stuck on full. I thought to myself, there's an offer I can't turn down. Yesterday I swallowed a dictionary. It gave me the sorest throat I ever had. Good morning, John. Thank you. I think you should have heard that. Let's see. Nope,
Seldom
you
Ball
didn't
said
hear
mic
that.
volume level is quite low.
Oh, mic volume low, huh? All right. Yeah, we'll bring that back up. And there I'm starting to bounce into the yellow. Now it's going all the way up to 100%. And then last one, Brian Lightfoot. Why do fish always sing off key? Because you can't tune a fish. I love it. Ken Stout
Ken
saying,
Stout
here we go.
Live said, here we go. Daily audio issues.
Windows daily audio issues. Let's see, turn 2-minute once, turn off those repeats, turn off the enabled, this 20-minute once. Oh, it went disabled again.
John Williams said, good to see you.
Oy, good to be seen. Which means I'm still alive. And let's get into some stuff. Here. We'll get to the topic that we were talking about yesterday, some summary information about further development on that. But first, channel comments.
Ken Stout. Liv said, yes, you can't tune a fish, but you can tune a piano.
Okay, good to know. Maybe there was a joke in there that I didn't catch. Oystein in video comments responding to the how to fix managed by your organization slam dunk version. He says, thank you so much, Doug. Zoom this in a little bit more. I had the same problem on a Windows 11 Pro installation, but changing the registry in the local machine didn't do it, did not fix it, which is what
John
was
Williams
covered
said,
in
I
that.
want a new drug. Great trailer.
Thank you, John. I deleted, however, the Edge policy keys in the local users after deleting the keys in the local machine, and the managed by your organization was gone after a reboot. Glad to hear that. I will reply with a timestamp later because I'm not sure that Oystein catches every show. And that was a comment made, I think, yesterday. Could have been the day before. YouTube is YouTube. These timestamps aren't always very accurate. Then Pineapple Road. I recently had a bit of a computer mystery, which I'm still trying to figure out. Thought I'd mention it in case anyone knows the answer. So I'll read through this. I'll give my thoughts on possible explanations and see where we go. I had got someone a new laptop and set it up for them. It's a Dell, but I can't remember the model other than it's a 14-inch, which is being used as a secondary laptop for travel, and it's smaller than their main one. The laptop had been sat on the side for a while after I set it up, not sure how long. They went to turn it on yesterday, which was the first time they had used it, the first time ever. So we don't really know how long ago it was that he set it up for them. He says not sure for how long, but yet here he says it was the first time they had used it. So I think he does know how long, if that was really the first time that they had tried to use it. But it didn't turn on. I thought maybe the battery drained while it was not being used. So I grabbed the charger and plugged it in, making sure they knew which one it was. So he's saying I grabbed the charger. So he was on site at this point, making sure they knew which one it was, even though I had labeled it. So I'm assuming it still had the label on it, but he wanted to make sure that they understood which one it was. Now, this kind of gives us a little bit of understanding how careful he's being with normals and being sure he's covered all the bases. Good. It then turned on just fine. And curiously, it had probably about 50% charge. So I don't get why it wasn't turning on. So I have a few ideas. Of course, you don't have a video of their original effort to turn it on. And when you're dealing with normals, you got to think outside of the box and what might have been going on. I'm guessing that perhaps when you gave them the laptop and they set it aside, perhaps they just closed the lid and didn't actually shut it down. At that point in time, perhaps it had 100% battery, and they just closed the lid, left it aside. And then when they opened it, they expected it to just come on. Did they actually press the power button? Are you sure at that point that they understood which button is the power button? Because some laptops, the power button isn't quite so obvious. So there's a possibility. Maybe they opened it and what they're used to is just pressing any key to wake it up. And at that point in time, it was perhaps in standby mode and actually needed a press of the power button, because standby mode or hibernation mode won't turn on just from pressing any key. So there's a possibility.
John Williams said maybe it has not been dropped enough times yet.
Okay. Another possibility is that it might have got stuck into a state where it needed to be force powered off by holding the power button down for 10 seconds. Possibly you did that when you were there on site and that just didn't register with you because you know that so well. What else? That it had 50%. Now, since it probably was shut down when it had 100%, that would imply it wasn't really.
Chris Garrett said my new Dell Latitude goes to sleep when I close the lid, no matter how I set it.
Chris, check in BIOS settings. See if there's something there that might, where BIOS might be overriding the Windows settings. That might be something. Let's see. Did I have some other thoughts there? Laptop had been set aside. Not sure for how long. I think you do know how long, because you said it was the first time they had used it when they tried to turn it on, and it was yesterday from when you put this message in. You put this message in just 6 hours ago, according to what YouTube is telling me. Do I have any other thoughts on this? Let's try refreshing this page and see if it actually was more than 6 hours ago. Oh. Sin Vicious has something in. Whoa. Oh, this went to. Is this? Wait, what? What did this go to? 14 hours ago. There's more stuff in here now. Oh, okay. So we got more comments to get to. 21 hours ago. I guess I hadn't refreshed that page for a while. Yeah, okay. Fine. First time they hadn't, but I thought maybe the battery drained while not being used. So I grabbed the charger and plugged in. A 50% battery should be fine for turning the computer on. I'm thinking that the right button wasn't pressed for turning it on. Now, when you got there, did you, Pineapple Road, try turning it on before you connected the charger and tried turning it on? So I'm wondering if perhaps you arrived.
Chris Garrett said I heard a window break. Was it Josh swinging on the mailbox again?
Okay. Is it possible that you got there and plugged the AC adapter in and then turned it on, and that was your first attempt to turn it on? If you had, what I would like to have heard in your question there is that you tried turning it on before connecting the AC adapter, so that because you know where the power button is. Maybe they were saying, "Hey, it won't turn on." They'd open the lid and pressing keys on the keyboard, mouse pad, and arrow keys, and not really registering with them that there is a power button somewhere. So those are my thoughts. I didn't get any speaker bot messages of other people really proposing other ideas for that. So I'm going to go glance through chat and see if something pops out. Chris Garrett asking if it's still under warranty. There's not a problem with it right now that you can claim a warranty on. So I don't think so. I don't think he's going to try dropping it more to get it broken in. Yeah, we're supposed to break in computers, right? Doesn't that mean drop them? Let's see. We responded to that one. Whose problems are we going to fix? Is it possible that the true shutdown like we had in the old days is still running? What's called quick boot or something like a quick start. Make sure that's turned off. That shouldn't have caused a problem with turning it on if they were actually pressing the correct power button. Maybe investigate the battery's capacity, running it, seeing if you get normal run time. Certainly, batteries can do funny things, especially when they're old from their production date, but it is a new computer. So I'm inclined to think that's probably not it. Now, I'm guessing that he got it up and running and said, okay, everything looks fine, goodbye. And he's not actually doing anything more with it. Now, if he can respond with saying that, yes, I tried turning it on before connecting the AC adapter, or he might say, well, no, I just plugged in the AC adapter and turned it on. I'm not really sure if they know where the power button is, or maybe they noticed where the button is when I pressed it and didn't admit to not knowing that that was the power button. They may have realized when they saw you turn it on.
Said maybe it needs a new drug installed through USB.
Okay, maybe they realized when they saw you turn it on what they missed doing and were too embarrassed to tell you that. So those are my thoughts. Now let's move on to another question. I will respond to Pineapple Road with a timestamp because I'm also not sure that he watches every time. And usually not active in our chat room. I think he's in a time zone that doesn't provide for that. Josh Kinder, awesome. You did what I asked you to do. Today is Update Tuesday. I would have missed it without you saying that. Today is the second Tuesday of the month. It is Update Tuesday. Possible that you might get calls from normals who have problems with their computer. Their computer is misbehaving. I've seen this happen many, many times. When the computer's misbehaving, they have that yellow or orange dot in the bottom right corner in the system tray, and it's prompting them to restart their computer. Before you do any troubleshooting, if they have that orange yellow dot, have them restart their computer and see if the symptom has gone away. I have no information as to whether this is a big update or a small update, although Windows 10 should be small updates because they're not doing feature updates anymore. So thank you, Josh, for that. Give you a thumbs up and a heart. I had asked him last month to take that on as his regular assignment to remind me. And he did that. Sinvicious, uBlock Origin Extension Opera add-ons. Works like a dream. Thanks, Master Doug. Living ad-free again. You're welcome. Let's see. He had, Sinvicious, you had another problem going on. You had the monitor issue going on. I heard you this morning. I listened to Ken Stout's show last night. So I heard your update about the monitors. And seems like I did have another thought to say. What he's got two 40, I think a 49-inch curved monitors. They're really big. If it's not 49-inch, I don't care what it is. But after some kind of power issue, both of those will not turn on. And he's tried connecting them to different ports on his graphics card, I believe. He's got a third monitor that's a normal size and it's working. The big monitors are displaying something visually. I'd sure like to have like a cell phone video of that. That'd be interesting to see what that looks like, Sinvicious. And I believe he swapped out signal cables. Oh, here's what I thought of last night. Those monitors probably have different ports. They probably have HDMI and DisplayPort and maybe something else. Can you try connecting through a different port technology? With a different cable, different port on the monitor, preferably different port on your computer. Sin Vicious in chat is saying it's his GPU, it's his graphics card. Now that would kind of make sense for both devices going bad at the same time, both of those monitors at the bad at the same time. If it is your graphics card, could it be just that technology of port? And can you try using a different port? Even if you have to disconnect the other monitors, and it may not be a workable end solution to just not use that port, but it would allow you to identify that. Also, simply disconnect the power from the GPU, remove it from the computer, and put it back in. Even put it in a different slot if a different slot is available. More likely that it is just the graphics card itself. So those are some other times. Ideas. No, I got a huge problem. Sent you pics tonight. So he's saying he sent me already pics? Sent me pics already? Or is going to? I didn't see. I didn't have an email flagged from him with pictures. I'm trying to search my email for Sin Vicious. Let's see that. Not sure if this is his email. Yeah, looks like it. I don't have any emails from him since December 23. Oops, send tonight. Okay, not sent tonight. Send, he will send tonight. All right. Thank you. Let's see. That's a conversation between Lawn Dog and Wintermute. I'll get caught up on it later. Let's get back to channel comments. So I'm going to give a thumbs up and a heart to Sin Vicious since he is watching right now. I don't need to send him a timestamp. I will send a timestamp to Pineapple Road and Oystein. Then I'm going to my flagged emails. After that, I think I'm going to cover an update from the audio issues we were talking about yesterday. My audio issues. I captured a chat comment from Steve Mercure. Now I'm wondering, Steve, do you pronounce it Mercure or Mercury? Since it's a name, it could be pronounced Mercury, even though that wouldn't be the traditional pronunciation. Excuse me. So option 1 would be Mercure. Option 2 would be Mercury. I work with an internet sports broadcasting crew, and I saw this comment yesterday. We've removed all our filters in OBS since their last version update. We run dynamic XLR microphones into a mixer that has USB output and then into a computer. My question for you, Steve, is do you ever do post-processing, post-production cleanup of audio? Are there any audio issues remaining by virtue of using XLR microphones? Hello, Jim. Lawn Dog's hearing the popping. Is this the ticking that you're hearing? Now let's go confirm that I have no filters in place right now, because that's what we concluded yesterday. So there's no filters on my microphone. So this is the mic setting. Click on the 3-dot menu, filters. I have no filters. That was our best result from yesterday. Now, to clue you in, here is Adobe Premiere and the, let's see. No, you're not seeing that there, are you? I got to bring that over here and then give monitor. Well, maybe you were seeing that. But anyway, let's do this on monitor 1. Yeah, so this is Adobe Premiere and my evaluation of that. I'm going to shrink down the timeline. These green markers here and the red markers and green and blue, dark blue, light green, and the orange ones, those are all information about what I found out. Now I'm going to move my mouse up to here, press the tilde key, which expands this into full screen. Then I'm going to expand this out a little bit and give you some information. All of these green markers are places where there were audio cutouts. And those of you who were with us yesterday know what that means. That would be two to three frames of no audio. And it was very obvious people were noticing it. Then I'll use my scroll wheel to scroll out here to the right. This, let's see, there's green. This orange marker here is when we removed the final removal of audio filters. So no audio filters from that point on. So I'm sorry, it's the blue one. The blue one was where we removed that. So I'm going to move to that, move my pointer to there. And then if I do Shift M, it'll take me to that pointer. M again gives me the name. Yeah, this is where we removed all filters. And then after that, this next marker is where we started hearing the ticks. And during the show yesterday, I thought the ticks that were being heard was my mouse clicks. No, it was not. These were ticks that were being heard that are induced into the audio. If I expand this, we'll get to see that little mark right there? That is a tick. When I press the right arrow key, you'll be able to hear it. You're hearing just a 1 or 2 frames of audio. And there's that tick noise. And that is something that gets eliminated when I'm using filters. When I'm not using any filters, they are there. Each of these yellows were more tick occurrences of one of those ticks in the video. Now this one that's pink, I don't remember what that marker was. Oh, it's mouse clicks. This is when I suspected what was being heard was the mouse clicks. I'm going to play this section of audio for you. You should be able to hear it. Here. Alice is hearing clicking. The clickings are... Oh, the clicking you're hearing is my mouse, maybe. Okay? I will give you a mouse click with each finger. Okay, so that was me testing the mouse clicks there. That's what the mouse clicks look like. The first one we could hear. The second and the third one we couldn't hear. Then there's the fourth one and the fifth one that we could hear. So this is just all about, I guess, tips about editing audio or troubleshooting audio. Now there's something odd here at this one. What is that? Oh, that's, I have a capability of turning on a repeat. So they'll run through that section over and over again. I've got if I press the letter I here, that makes an in mark. And then an O would be for an out mark over here. And then if I bring this back down and click on this loop playback, then we can see. So there, when I loop that playback, that tap, tick, click noise is more noticeable. When that tick occurs in a area where there's other audio, it's hard to spot that on the graphic display here. So what I'm currently going with is no filters and never touch, never touch that freaking mute button. My opinion at this point in time of what's happening is it's similar to on speakers. If you find...
Ken Stout Live said I am hearing a voice in my head. Does that count? It sounds like and C and C and C.
When you wiggle a wire on speakers and you hear it, the speakers kind of cut out, or maybe turn the volume on a speaker that's not working very well. My speakers has exactly that problem right now. When I turn it, the audio will cut in and cut out. I think that's what's going on with this mute button. And what is happening is I thought that I had to have that filter to get rid of that background hiss because I was having frequent trouble with this physical mute button, causing that background noise to be heard. And mistakenly, I thought that I had to have that filter in place to filter that out. I'm more inclined to believe at this point in time that this Blue Yeti microphone has that capability built into it. But because this mute button is flaky, I think it's causing extra sound interference or noise interference because of a poor electrical connection there. And when I get it set just right, just like playing with one of those volume buttons or playing with a speaker wire, when I get it set just right and it's behaving, at that point in time, I don't need a filter. Now, I could use a filter for it, like Blonde Dog is saying there, the pops and the clicks. I've had some experience with Audacity, and they had a pops and clicks filter, and I might look into that. But I am intrigued with going to an XLR microphone. If that never happens with XLR dynamic microphones, then I'd rather have just provide good audio in the first place so that you don't have to fix it. I don't like having to fix it. All right, let's go. Look in chat. Let's see. I'm going to start from, oh, by the way, I did switch out my mouse. My clicking mouse that I showed you yesterday, this gaming mouse, it's still live. Its transceiver is still plugged in. The first thing the first one that I tried after that was this mouse, which was also connected. Its transceiver was in place because the reason why this transceiver was in place because it is paired with the keyboard that I like to use during the live streams. So I could have just reached for this mouse yesterday and eliminated the mouse clicks right away. I'm not using this one now because when I scroll with it, actually it's live right now, so I'll show you. When I let's see, did it? No, I turned the power off, the switch off on it, so it's on right now. But the scroll wheel doesn't work right. I am scrolling up and down and up and down. So when I'm saying up and down, I'm scrolling only that direction. And you see that scroll bar moving up and down. It's not working right. There's up and then here's down. Now that menu came up. Down, 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 down. And you see it jump up and down. So that mouse was unacceptable. So what I did is I got a third mouse that goes with this keyboard. There are times when I would like to have the numeric keypad. So right now I have 3 mice on active. I could reach to any one of them and move the mouse around on the screen. This keyboard is on as well. So some people don't realize that you can do that. You can have multiple keyboards and multiple mice active and responsive. Now here I'm using the mouse that I wound up deciding to use. So here I'm going to scroll up, 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 and then scroll down, 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 down. Now I have to avoid pressing on the scroll wheel because that locks it into scroll mode. So this one scrolls really nice and it's a totally silent click. Here I'll show you that. Here I'll just click right in front of the microphone. And I seriously doubt you can hear that at all. So those are my developments. If I press on the mouse wheel, then I get this symbol. Then what happens is if I move the mouse forward and backward, as if I was trying to move the pointer up or down, it actually scrolls the screen. And then press the mouse scroll wheel again to get out of that mode. Sometimes people get have difficulty with that type of a scroll wheel because they accidentally press it, like I do. Feedback or weird sounds. I have heard of people being close to radio stations having feedback. Yeah, he's not talking about feedback now. Yeah, 3 blind mice. Scrolling is an issue. I don't understand it. My trusty Windows 7 machine, no matter what mouse I plug in to it, even one I suspect with some problems, works fine. So he's never had troubles with any scrolling operations. Okay, well, that is bottom of the hour. I'll go back and read through messages. I think I caught everything that was directed to my attention. I'm just looking through to see if there's any oranges that I've missed. Yep. I don't have any redirections. I did check before the show. I'll do a last final check of Carrie's channel. Nothing there. Ken would have let me know in chat if he had a show. Yep, nothing there. So that's it. Here's the email address. You can send a question by email. You can put a comment on any of my videos. You can ask a question in the chat room. Have a great day, everybody. I will catch you later. Goodbye.